Peace and love, y'all. Welcome to Holistic Round Podcast. I'm your host, Jada Kali, and today we're going to be talking about can men, um, can men love? Can men love, or is it natural for men to be in long and committed in long-term relationships? Um, from the research I have gathered, it seems as if long-term bonding or relationships goes directly against the nature of males. Can men do that? Yes, they can if they choose to love, or if they choose, because at that point it's about their free will. We all have free will. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to succumb to our nature. We don't have to succumb to our instinct. But you know what I'm saying? Because if we did that, everybody would just be, doing the wildest shit. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're built the way we are. We're built with a conscience to know what's right and wrong. So even though you know what I'm saying, we can do anything, it's not good to do anything. So are are men capable of long term bonding? Naturally, they're not. You know what I'm saying? If men were in their nature, they would not be able to sustain long term relationships with women. It's hard for them because their nature goes against long term bonding. Now, some men can, and by some I mean a minority, a small few. Um, they can do this, and it's because they choose to do this. And they choose to do it for certain reasons. Half the time, some of these men who do choose to be in long term relationships is not based upon love, and that's the scary thing. Um, it's not really scary, but it could be. Uh, a lot of times, women are placeholders for men, and they're a safety net, or a safety net or nest for men to say feel stable within life. Something that they already naturally feel unstable in. So you may find some men sticking with women for the long, long time, for years, but it's not necessarily based on love. It's based upon need and comfortability. So understanding that, the other part, uh, and that's the men that are able to love women, is because they choose to love women, and that choice means they had to A, overcome their nature, and B, they have to execute and utilize free will on a constant basis because they prioritize, you know what I'm saying, a purpose, a mission, or when they understand the value that woman holds in their life, and they know that they need that in their life, and they understand that having a good relationship is an investment for their future, for them to have a better future. And some men, it's just a bond. They know they can never find this again, and they secure that, and they are willing to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, their animalistic needs. They're willing to sacrifice that to keep this woman. Now, does that mean he's still not doing things? I don't know. I can't say he is or not, but usually they are. That's it. So we're about to get into the science as to why. See, this channel is all about the science of things. It's all about knowing things. Okay. Um, I don't know if I ever introduced myself in totality, but I am Jada Kali. Okay, and my purpose with this podcast is to teach the truth about life, teach the truth about relationships, about women, and shh, I'm on live. Okay, so and understanding that, you know what I'm saying, it's about teaching the truth, and not, and for me to even teach, I have to be a student. So on a daily basis, I stay studying, I stay learning, and I stay evolving, so I could push out the truth, so I can spread the truth. I am a messenger of this truth and of this information. I'm not the author of truth. God is the author of truth. Truth is God. And I recognize that and I understand that people perish from the lack of truth, from the lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And it's my duty as a person who knows this information to spread it, to give other people, you know what I'm saying, the advantage. And not even just the advantage, to give other people the information that's necessary for them, for the improvement of their life. And you know what I'm saying, as the teacher of this truth, I'm also a student. And me, creating this podcast was to reveal the truth of God, and we, what they call that, unveil the great mother, the great creatrix of this of life. My purpose is to put women back in their rightful positions and roles within life. My truth is to help restore the image of God and the image of women. My truth is in males and men. My truth is to, it's not just for women neither. I am mainly for women in the divine feminine, but I also have to understand that men are a part of women. Men are a part of God. Men are a part of life. And you know what I'm saying? And to just focus on one and not the other, in a sense, is unbalanced, because women produce both, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Women have sons and daughters. Some women just have sons. So in all actuality, I'm trying to give women knowledge, you know what I'm saying, to evolve themselves and be the best, you know what I'm saying, beings they can be. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to restore the image of women, and to do that I have to put her and put everybody back into their rightful roles and their rightful placements. So this podcast is to destroy the lies and misinformation out here, and to spread the truth, and to wake up women, to wake up, you know what I'm saying, humanity. That's my biggest purpose, and to restore the image of the goddess and women. This podcast is also, you know what I'm saying, to give you clear, um, um, uninhibited, whatever, and let me find better words, but to give you straight facts, raw truth, raw facts about all these things. I'm not just sharing my opinion. This is not my opinion. That's by far. I'm not on here. This is why it's holistic knowledge, because I'm not on here just to share my opinion. I'm not giving my opinion. Okay, I have my opinion about these things, but the information I bring to the table, it's not opinion based. It's factual. It's fact based. And I see a lot of lies out here, or misinformation. I'm not even saying that a lot of people are actually lying, but I just feel like a lot of these people with these podcasts, a lot of these people, you know what I'm saying, making these videos to try to help people, because as humans, that's what we do. We share information, we relate. So they're not doing a bad thing when they're on here trying to relate and trying to share truth, something that they feel is the truth. They're not doing anything wrong. But the fact of the matter is that what is wrong is the fact that they don't have the proper or the right information. They have false information that's circulating within their mind, and they're spreading this information like a virus. It is not true, because they never fact checked it. They never went back and to see if what they're actually telling or what they're actually showing is true. They're not doing it. They're going off of what society believes to be true. And at the end of the day, that is not right neither, because society is a reflection of the people who's controlling society, the people who's in power, and we know they're corrupt. So the people that's in power, that's influencing society as we speak, if we know they're corrupt beings, what do you think? How you think society's functioning? Society's going to be functioning corruptly, because they're going to be a reflection of the people that's corrupted, that's influencing society, the governments, the institutions, all these things out that have an impact on our environment is the same. It's what's influencing our is what's influencing society. So at the end of the day, the purpose of this podcast is to teach the whole truth, the full truth. I'm touching on everything. That's why it's holistic knowledge. It's holistic because I speak on every level. metaphysics, physics. It don't matter what it is. Every topic I speak about. Okay, um, and I'm here to give y'all the knowledge, the truth of it. The knowledge is the awareness of truth. That's what knowledge means. The awareness of something. When you have knowledge, you are aware of something. And so I'm giving y'all awareness. I'm bringing y'all to the point to where you're gonna become aware of what's going on out here. You're gonna become aware of the truth. Now it's up to you to apply this to your life and become wise. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for people who want to become wise and live this truth and find, you know what I'm saying, key things, key practices, and ways that they can implement this knowledge into their life to have, you know what I'm saying, a life that's closer to reality, a life that's closer to God. Click the link in my bio and subscribe to Holistic Knowledge Academy or Wisdom of Mameka Academy. And, you know what I'm saying, we can move forward there. But outside of that, me as your host, Jada Kali, I was born for this. This is my purpose. My purpose is to teach the truth. My purpose is to help people become aware of the truth. This is who I am. This is me. This is my divine purpose. And honestly, I should, you know what I'm saying, pull up my astrological energy in the meaning of my name and my life purpose. Because this right here, I mean, I'm letting you know, I'm giving you my resume. And this is my resume. My resume is to help you guys with this. And I care about facts. Because I know how important it is to know the truth. I know how important it is to have, factual information. And that's why when it comes to this, I'm gonna walk you guys through it. I'm going to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to tell y'all what it is. I'm going to show y'all that the what I'm stating is actually true. We're gonna do reactions to a lot of this misinformative content that's out here. And I'm going to put a lot of things in perspective. I'm going to put a lot of things, I'm killing it. I'm dead in all of it. So at the end of the day, welcome to my podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm about and this is what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, like I was saying, Jada, and this is my actual name. Jada Kali is my real name. So this is all real. This is divinely chosen. Jada means to know, the knower, to know. I came here to know, and Kali is the liberator. She's the liberator of suffering, and her weapon of liberation is knowledge. So I came here to know the truth, to help liberate people from their, you know, from their suffering, and they're suffering because they're ignorant. My people perish from the lack of knowledge, and this is what I'm doing. This is my purpose, and I'm just fulfilling my purpose. So let's get into it. Welcome to my podcast. This is what I'm about. And at the end of the day, um, we're gonna do not a libation, but in a sense, I'm gonna call forth some goddesses of truth to, be with us. You know what I'm saying, in this process of discovery. You know what I'm saying, in this lecture that I'm about to bring to the table. So we're gonna call forth the goddesses. And these are the goddesses that I implement. You know what I'm saying, within this channel and within, you know what I'm saying, the information that I'm acquiring, I'm following. I make sure that I represent these goddesses well, and these are the goddess. This is the goddess Mayat. Her name means truth. She is the truth. She is, and this truth is the order, the foundation of life. So I'm giving y'all the truth. I'm giving y'all the foundation of life to reality, and you should then build your life around that. But to do that, you have to have wisdom. And to have the wisdom, you have to have knowledge. So I'm bringing y'all one part of this whole process, and this is the knowledge. It is up to you to apply it and find the wisdom. And then from the wisdom, you will be, you've entered the Garden of Eden. You're in heaven at that point. And heaven, yes, is a state of mind. Heaven is the state of eternal, everlasting existence or communion with God. And that's what I'm leading y'all to. I'm leading you to heaven, which is a state of mind. It's Christ consciousness. I'm giving y'all the keys to get there, to be in everlasting communion with the Creator. So, this is why this is so important to me, and yeah. So it's been a lot of misinformation, and I just want to talk. I just want to right now we're about to do a reaction. You know, what's his name? No Fugazi. I have a couple people on here that I just whew. See, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I have to call it like call it like it is. No Fugazi. He says no Fugazi, no bullshit, no basically non-factual information, and none of the shit he brings is facts. See, that's the difference. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He's not bringing facts. He is literally bringing opinions that everybody collectively believe to be true. He's not bringing no facts. This is something that people believe to be true, and he's just stating it because the collective believes it. But this is not true. And then he wants to say it in an authoritative tone as if, listen to me, this is what it like. No, no. That's another thing. That's another trick of the male. The male likes to say things in a stern or aggressive baritone or aggressive tone, to evoke attention and to gain, so called false respect because he feels as if he can he feels as if he can yeah, if he could capture your attention and invoke a sense of fear within you, that what does it say? You respect what you fear, you respect authority. So when he uses an authoritative tone of voice, he's trying to get submission, and usually it has its effect. Usually a lot of people respond to it in the way that they're looking for because a lot of people are ignorant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know the difference. A lot of people don't know anything to fight against it, and that's human nature. So when somebody says, if when he states stuff like this, the man carries the seed, and you're like, no, he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? All that, this making you trying to make you doubt. You know what I'm saying? What it is, what you think to be true. It's like all a mind tactic, a mind game. And at the end of the day, when he says stuff like, you know what I'm saying, that's not factual. Like, I'm bringing facts. I mean, you're just saying stuff. Nothing you said disputed what I brought to the table. I brought facts. No, you didn't bring facts. You just and then a lot of times, half the time, he does not even know. He looks stuff up as he's talking, and it goes with the flow. I just see him do that tonight. He was talking to some guy and talking about if the woman is superior or not. He said just because the woman's more complex after he looked something up doesn't make her superior. Like, come on. Complexity and biological norms mean superior. When something's more complex and it takes more factors to create something that is more superior than something that's less complex. So let me share my screen. Today I wanted to talk about now scientific evidence that the great mother is God. Now we're just gonna go through a few things here because I don't want to go through everything right now because it's not all really put together as we speak. But one of the things I wanted to talk about and bring to the table. Let me get my what you gonna call it? So yeah, but let me get my files together. I'm about to share my screen and share my window real quick. I'm about to share my screen on this one. Okay. And in actuality, I'm going to minimize me because it's the information that we need to focus on. So this is scientific evidence that the Great Mother is God. And he's made a statement that said that women weren't superior, that the man is superior. Now, a lot of this stuff comes from the fact that the image of God is made in the image of God is made in the image of a male. This is what a lot of this comes from, because if you discredit the male in any way, subconsciously in their mind, you're discrediting God. And because they use their religious, or, they believe that the Bible is actually from God, which is ridiculous to me. But because they believe that the Bible is actually from God, they and that Bible said that man was made in the image of God. It fuels their patriarchal egos. Now, I made a statement. Okay, I made a post. Where is my post at? Okay, and this is my message to women. Okay, my message is to put women back on the throne. Okay, so my message is to put women back on the throne and show how women are key and vital to the revolution and the restoration of life. Okay, women are the true saviors of the world, and because women are my bad because we are women, we are not only mothers, but we are also protectors and sustainers of life, just like the Great Mother. Okay, and just like the Great Mother has been forgotten, so has the role and purpose of women been forgotten. Sisters, we are lost, and it's up to us to find our true selves, and restore our image. So there's a little typos because I was supposed to come back, and a lot of stuff I did not even say. So you may see, because and I was gonna say something, then I thought of something else and then put that in there. So, and my message to men, and this is where this comes, right? This is the message to men that's going to try to discredit what I'm talking about. In all actuality, my message benefits you also. My main mission is for women and to restore women, because I know in restoring women, I'm restoring all of humanity. Okay, so I'm not really focused on men. If I'm talking about men, it's to help women understand men. And if I'm also talking about men, it's in a sense, so men can understand themselves if they watch my stuff. But my message to men is, you have been given a false title and role in society, and as a result, it has fractured the psyches of millions. Matter of fact, not millions, billions of men, or the species of males. Period. It has fractured the psyches of millions of men. Okay, and you've been given a position that goes completely against your nature. And in all actuality, patriarchy does not benefit men or life at all. Okay? The world has been tricked in believing it does. That's another thing. The world has been tricked in believing that patriarchy benefits men. Women have been tricked into believing patriarchy benefits men. Men have been tricked into believing that patriarchy benefits them. But in all actuality, it doesn't benefit them at all. Okay? Men are given responsibilities that they cannot handle. Men naturally cannot handle these responsibilities, and this is why they damage families. Because they run away from the responsibilities because it's not naturally for them. This is why a lot of the issues occur in our in our households. Okay? Because of the nature of men. And you cannot put somebody with that nature in positions like that govern the whole. Because they're not whole. Or because it could be something going on with them that affects, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that could affect their state of mind can affect whatever they're over. So this is why it's dangerous to put somebody who has, you know what I'm saying, these kind of psychological issues in positions of power over life. Should not be. Should not be happening. Should not be going down. So at the end of the day, patriarchy does not benefit men. Men want to think it does, but it doesn't, and that's just why they've been suffering. And some men will tell you it don't. Okay, um, so yeah, they've been tricked into believing that it does benefit them, but it actually destroys the souls of men. That's the damaging part. It destroys their souls and puts unnatural societal pressures on males that fractures him. Okay, the truth is patriarchy and the destruction of women only benefit few, and that is the elite males that are playing God on earth. Patriarchy only benefits the males at the top of the pyramid. Everybody underneath that pyramid is not worth shit. It's suffering. The only people who benefit from patriarchy is the males at the top of the fucking food chain. It's the males at the top of the pyramid. That's it. Outside of that, males don't benefit from it. They suffer. But their egos have been built so unnaturally that they think that they the shit. They think that it benefits them. It doesn't. Um. All right. So yeah. Anyway. So um. Yeah. So the destruction of women in life is only the destruction of women only support the elite males that's trying to play God on earth. Okay, so the message to womankind should be spread and supported by everybody, males included, because the rise of women is the rise of life, and the destruction of women is the destruction of life, because life and women are synonymous. Okay, life and women are synonymous; they go together. You can't one can exist without the other. Okay, that is the truth of the matter. Show me a life that got here without a woman, and show me a woman that got here without life. They don't exist. The fact that a woman exists, life exists. And the fact life exists, a woman has to exist. Men who support this message, I applaud you. Okay? I give you your flowers. Because you have done one of the biggest things, and that is face yourself and accept the raw truth that you've been lied to, that you, who you think you are and the titles that you're in, the roles in society that you're supposed to play, it's not your natural right or role. And that you should fall in line. Men who came to that conclusion, or have understood this information and they accepted it and they faced it, I applaud you, because that's not something a lot of men could do. Okay? And the fact that you was able to do that and subdue your ego, which is hard, which is a very hard thing for men to do, in support of the goddess and women, I applaud you. I applaud you. If any of the goddess's sons, God's sons, okay? Any of God's sons, the goddess's sons, that are out here that listen to this, that support this message, I applaud you. And I want you to step up. You know what I'm saying? Step up to your rightful place and be the devotees that you are. You know what I'm saying? Be the natural, you know what I'm saying, divine males that you are. Okay? And what I mean by that is that once the man finds his purpose, and I don't even want to get all into that. I don't want to touch on the topic of males right now because I don't want to get into that. I just made this post to let you know that any males that support this message, I applaud you, and you know what I'm saying, and you have my support. All right, you have the support. So you have the support of truth. You have the support of God on your side. So let's get into it. Scientific evidence of great mother is God. Let me. Where's the books at? Because he said that the woman is not superior, not the superior species, and that males carry the eggs. So, in understanding this, how is male superior? So I'm gonna go over this. I'm gonna go over this post real quick. I'm gonna go over this. Hold on, I'm having technical difficulties. Alright. So I'm gonna go over this. It says the female sex, which existed from the beginning, continues unchanged. So the female sex, which existed from the beginning, continues unchanged. The male sex, which did not exist at the beginning, makes its appearance at certain stages. Now I want you to understand that. How is something that's superior or that's first? That does not coincide with fact. Because the fact of the matter is, the female sex existed in the beginning, without it continues to exist and unchanged. The male sex did not exist in the beginning and makes its appearance at certain stages. So one is fundamental and one is not. One is foundational and one is not. So secondary. One is primary and one is secondary. Which one out of the two will be primary? The primary one will be the female, the one that existed in the beginning and continues unchanged. That sounds like the foundational one. That sounds like the fundamental one. Versus the male, which did not exist in the beginning and only makes his appearance at certain stages, which sounds to me like something that's secondary. So the woman then becomes primary and the male secondary, okay? Right here it says woman is of a higher order than man because of the fact that man is a product of degenerative influences that affected his virgin mother. Man is merely a degenerate woman. Let me talk. Come on. Come on. The woman is of a higher order than man because of the fact that man is a product of degenerative influences. He's not the evolution. He's not the upgraded woman, a complete human. He's a degenerated human. And this is what off of what? No Fugazi. What the fuck was he saying? Let me go back to that. That dweeb. He was just alive. Yeah, here we go. This shit won't take all day. No. I don't know where the fuck this nigga get his information from. Uh, I mean, like we live. It's like we live in this time in this era. That's why I say that. Where the fuck do you get your information from? Oh, my bad. He's not a researcher, so he's just regurgitating what he learned at school, or you know what I'm saying, in the library. Fuck a lot of a library hold more information than that shit. He's just regurgitating what he learned at school. I forgot. You know what I'm saying? He's not a researcher. He's not self-educated, and he didn't go and want to study these things. He's just opinion based. But I'm gonna do a clear reaction to him to debunk everything he's saying, and then I'm gonna look it up for you guys to show that it could easily be found online on the internet. It's like right there. It's not that hard. But anyway, women is of a higher order than man. A man is only here through degenerative influences. So all that shit that people be talking about, like, all that shit that even he was saying how a male is superior, it's not true. It's not true. You are degenerate. So you're lesser than what we are. So you're less than. So if you're degenerate, that means what? That the woman is human. You're a degenerate human. A woman is a woman. You're a degenerate woman. So she's the foundation, the primary. You're secondary. Right here. Life is a fundamental and reoccurring pattern in nature. Life is a female environment in which the male pairs, often periodically, and created by the female to perform highly specialized tasks related to species reproduction and a more complex evolution. That's another thing. See, this is how I know. I want y'all to understand. A traditional woman. So a traditional woman is a trad wife, or a trad wife is a married woman who embraces traditional gender roles and femininity. Okay, so this is a woman who embraces the roles that society created for her. So women have had images of femininity or womanhood that's been placed on her by society because that image of what a woman should be was necessary and useful for males and for men to flourish. As to the reason why they created this role for her, because if a woman doesn't hold that role, the male will not flourish in his uh, home, and with his foundation that he's trying to create, will not flourish without a traditional woman that they created. Okay, and this can include focus on homemaking, supporting her husband as the primary breadwinner, and adhering to traditional sex roles in marriages. Okay, I don't know why my computer is acting like this, but I got too much shit running. Some trad wives choose to leave their careers to focus on their family's needs. The term is often associated with conservative. Now you say that she leaves her career, her life alone to focus and give herself to her family's life. And if because she's a traditional woman and she has traditional gender roles and femininity, that means that she supports the male bias. She supports what men teach. She supports the image of what a man is. She backs it and she supports what they say a woman is. This woman has been created by society, by religions. Look at her. That's a traditional woman. Cooking and clean. Oh, this is the image of traditional woman. Africa got it too. Everybody got it. And to be what? A woman must be submissive. Wives, submit to your husband as the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife. This is what's been giving everybody the images. Wives, be submissive to your own husbands as unto the Lord. They want you. This is the image of women. Be submissive. You only exist for your man, for a man, to be his helpmate, right? So when he says stuff like, so he has the perspective, the traditional woman, soft, dainty. You know what I'm saying? It's all these images are white women. Look, the soft, dainty in the house, doesn't take the trash out. It's always looking kept up and looking beautiful and staying above the stove while her hard working man and protector goes out. That's the only image, right? That's what they feel women. Women don't control their image. Men do. Women don't tell each other what femininity looks like. Men do. Right? We're based solely around the male's gaze or his perspective. So look at this. I mean, I don't know who the hell that is. So they take everything off of they take everything off of YouTube. It seems like. So you about to look at all this. This woman, it, and women will not be able to survive without. She would not be able to have clothes to protect herself from the weather. I'm gonna watch this later because I don't. Sorry, but I had my mic on this whole time. But women can build. Women can have communities. Women can function without men. All this whole narrative of women being dainty and can't do shit. Come on. She just built this little dugout home. Now he's talking about what would he say? I just wanna ask this question. Does she need a man to do that? It's like fucking stop. Like it's just what else? Triple mag. Triple mag TV woman hunting show. Women can't hunt, and this looks like a woman and her daughters. Mother and her daughter. Come on. So, let this shut the motherfucker. I guess women can't hunt. Women can build, women can hunt. What else women can't do? The other one showed women have their own village without no men and have shelter, food, and water. What else? This is all in the wild. This is why I'm showing it like this. I mean, come on. One of the earliest big game hunters were female. Females. So women hunted, they gathered, they could build shelter, and they could, I said they could hunt, and they could clothe themselves. So the ancient woman, the ancient woman was not this. This is not, the ancient woman was not a traditional housewife. This only occurs after religion. This is what people need to understand. Women were not this image of, oh, she was so dainty, she couldn't do anything. She couldn't build for herself, she couldn't protect herself, she couldn't, come on. Fucking stop with the narrative. But this is the work of the patriarchy, and this is just a man who doesn't know anything, who's working off of opinions and is opinion based, and he's trying to convince the world to not, you know, put the women back on her throne. He does not want to see that. His ego, his small little ego, cannot handle that. It's just not true. Women need men. Men are superior. This is his affirmation, so he feels good with himself. Because if he actually did any amount of research, he would know. I'm just giving y'all videos. I'm not even giving y'all data, scientific data, that proves him wrong on all accounts. The first person to make fire was a woman. The first person to domesticate animals were women. The first person to create a dog were women. The first person to create agriculture and farming were women. The first person that created fabric and clothing was women. The men wasn't doing none of that shit. The men were followers, supporters, helpmates. It's the other way around. But the difference is that y'all gonna try to debunk that with the Bible or opinion on what the collective agrees upon at the moment based upon of years, thousands of years worth of misinformation and deceit. Intentional deceit. That's what y'all want me to. Oh, get the fuck out of here with that. What you're talking about? That's not true. And when I ask you how is it not true, because that's not. You don't even have that fucking answer. Because y'all don't research. You don't fact check anything. You just go off of what you've been told. See, the difference is that I believed all this once upon a time. I believe the man was God. I believe the whole male role. I believed all of this once upon a time, but the more I researched, the more it all became a lie. And that's what made me like, oh my God, the world is suffering because of these lies. So at the end of the day, I know what it feels like to believe it and to not believe it. All you gotta do is keep searching for the truth. But nothing he's saying is actually true. It's all opinion based, feeling based. And then he does a little, let me look up on Google real quick and just find something to run with. Women have not been put in her position, like I said before. Her images have been destroyed and she has been put in an unnatural position to where they have handicapped and debilitated the woman to not be able to do shit but be a homemaker and a submissive. That's it. No, don't worry about changing your tire. The man should do that. Women, you're a lady. You don't need to do that. Let a man do that. And then when you say, man, I don't need a fucking man, then who gonna change your tire then? Who gonna change your tire? And then she's like, damn, who? Right. Who is gonna change my tire? Why can't she change her tire? Why does she need him to change her tire? Why can't she change her tire? Because she's been conditioned and taught that she shouldn't change her own tire. Even if she could, if she has the mental capacity and the physical capacity to change her tire, she's been taught that she shouldn't change her tire because that is for males and you are a female and you should let males do that. And if you don't have a male in your life to do that, you need to get you one. So why? To always make the male relevant in a woman's life. To where now she's constantly being debilitated, stay in need based, and her needs are debilitated in places that he is pushed to be able to do. So it's like you debilitate her in these areas, and then you make him stronger in these areas. So you can say, hey, women, you need him because he knows how to do this and you don't. When love should not be based upon need. It should be based upon wanting somebody, desiring somebody. So if it was a world where everybody could do whatever they felt called to do. If men wanted to cook, why is a boy being kicked out the kitchen? Because he's a boy. But he has a desire to cook, and you say no. The father or whoever, or mother, boys don't do this. You go sit down and let me teach your sister. Because boys don't, they not supposed to cook. What? A boy don't learn how to wash his fucking clothes. He don't learn how to cook or clean because that's not the role of males. That's the role of girls. And girls ain't supposed to be worrying about getting money, having a career, or learning how to do the heavy things. She shouldn't worry about protecting herself. She shouldn't worry about learning how to fight in self-defense. She shouldn't worry about none of that type of shit because that's what a man is for. But then if a man doesn't show up in these areas, then she has to hurt off of his behalf. Incompetence, and that's the state we're in. And this is a clear example of something not being true, but this is something that men want because it makes them feel needed, necessary. This is clearly not true. Women can hunt, women can build, women done started it. There's the culture creators, culture makers. They done create every goddamn thing necessary for society to exist and flourish. You know what I'm saying? Without Wi-Fi, he wouldn't be on this podcast saying this shit. And women created Wi-Fi. So at the end of the day, the first miners were women. The first smelters of metal were women. And you know what women used to make with that? They used to make jewelry and spearheads and hunting tools. And you know what men did when they learned the art? They built war. They built swords and machineries and armor to fight each other, to conquer. So anyway, we know that not to be true. You could go look up and find out everything he's saying is based upon opinion, how he feels and what society collectively agreed upon once upon a time. His mind, the image of a woman in his mind is the image that society has created. And now this is what he's basing a woman off. Oh, a woman's so dainty. A woman doesn't like to do that. And women are building themselves around that image because they don't know themselves. They don't have no identity outside of what a male desires or not. Male gaze. And that is the truth. So, let's get back. He said, men were superior. No, they're not. Life is a female environment in which the male periodically is created or not by females. Okay? Let's keep going. Men have breasts, but his breasts don't work. Why the fuck would a male have a breast? If this is not the body of a woman, why does he have breasts? Why does he have mammary glands when mammary glands are used to produce milk? Every man has a rudimentary mammary gland of the female, which in some cases are so well developed that they produce milk and can nurse infants. Men who possess such are called male mothers. Now I want you to understand, why would he have breast, undeveloped breast, if he is a superior human? He's an evolved female. Why the fuck would he have breasts that don't work? That sounds like an undeveloped female. That this is what it should have been, but this is what it was when it wasn't developed. Okay, all male and females have mammary glands, which is an organ that produces milk. Why does this organ exist? To produce milk that what? Sustain life. For a baby's breast milk. Why the fuck would men have that? If they are a separate species than women, and they are the foundation, they're primary. Come on. Why would male have an undeveloped gland, but women have a developed gland? Come on. Sri Lankan widower who was attracted to the attention as he was breastfeeding his daughter soon after his wife died. This man's body was able to produce milk to breastfeed his daughter after the woman died. His body was able to develop milk. He was able to breastfeed his baby. That to me sounds like an undeveloped woman. What else? Yeah, you gonna go right here. All babies are born female biologically until the 6th week, and it is induced to become males, to become a male. Okay, so on 6 to 7 week of gestation period during the fetal development, the SRY protein secreted off the Y is was determining this the gender of the child to be male, right? So this means that before the SRY gene was expressed for 6 to 7 weeks, all zygotes were female, were developing females, and all biological organs developing from 1 to 6 weeks were female, were of the female sex thereof. Okay, if the Y chromosome, which is the SRY gene, is not expressed or does not produce an adequate level of testosterone during fetal development, the fetus will continue to develop into the XX female sex by default. Now I have an image of that. It's like a lot of the lot of shit that I had is not on here. Okay. Women appear first. The masculine principle in the male organism. So in religious philosophies, the masculine principle and the male organism are primary in the cosmic scheme, and the feminine principle and the feminine organism are secondary. But natural law at all points reveal that fact that originally and normally all things center, as it were, about the female. In a word, life begins as female. So, as you can say, even though religious philosophies say the male is the primary organism and the primary principle, and the female is a secondary organism and the secondary principle in all actuality, in fact, all things center as if it were around and about the female. Because all life begins as female. Life on the physical plane The first living organism was a mother organism. The first organic substance was a mother substance. The first standard form was the mother form, and the one purpose throughout creation is to bring relatively all units approximately to the full development of the potentialities that creative life possess. To evolve the highest expression of the forces of life through creative powers and transmissive functions of the female. Okay. The female sex, which existed from the beginning, continues unchanged in male sex. Okay. There are probably more living beings without the male elements than it is with the male elements in present life on the globe. I want to see that. Let me see this. She's the male is not primary if he doesn't exist in all species. My bad. Yeah, right here. It says the female is the primary in the original sex. It continues throughout as the main trunk. The male element was added afterwards for purposes of variation. How much more can we say? All sex points to the feminine as the primary and fundamental basis of organic existence. Modern biological studies have also shown that the male is secondary. Life is exalted in proportion to its organic and functional complexity. Woman's organisms is more complex in her totality of function, larger than those of any other creature inhabiting our earth. Therefore, her position in the scale of life is most exalted, the sovereign one. And how many more? Woman is the eternal primitive. Woman is closest to primary nature, is therefore more primitive than men. Female sex is primary, the male secondary in life. Normally all life centers about the female. The male, not necessary in the scheme of life, was developed under the operation of the principle of advantage to secure organic progress through the crossing of strains. This explanation staggered under the ponderous title of the gynocentric of women-centered theory is the most impressive contribution to the thought of the world of Professor Lester Ward, the greatest sociologist who taught so long at Brown University. Evolutionary F6, page 8. Alright, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So we can get out of that. There's another. The seed. Jesus Christ. The clitoris, the penis is nothing but an elongated clitoris. This isn't elongated. This is what this degenerated into. So this whole system must be, what would they say? Primary, the first, the foundation. Women hold the seeds, not men. This is something that's going to be so hard for them to understand, but it is necessary for them to understand. Because if they don't understand it, then we're doomed. I was playing. Women hold the seeds, not men. Alright? The seeds are what we call the eggs of plants. Okay? Women hold the egg is the seed. The seed is the egg. What you call seeds is the eggs of the plant. The plant is the woman. What you call seeds is the eggs of female plant. Women hold the seeds, not males. Okay, seeds are formed from fertilized eggs. Fertilized eggs is where seeds come from. They contain an embryo with little store of food. Okay, they are equivalent to the eggs that the animals lay. Yes, a fruit is the mature ovary of a plant along with its content. So, a fruit is an ovary, and the seeds is what? What is inside a human ovary? Eggs. What's inside of a plant ovary? Seeds. So seeds is equivalent to the egg of the female ovary. And inside this seed lies, inside this egg lies the embryo, the genetic information that then produces another plant. That was all a lie. When they kept trying to say that men hold seeds, men do not hold the seeds. Women hold the seeds. Women are the seed bearers. Okay? Men are fertilizer. Men make the soil fertile for conception. That's what they do. Without fertilizer, there would be no seeds to conceive. Nothing can grow without the soil being fertile. But when the soil is fertile, life can then grow. Okay? And when life is grown, the continuation of that life is the seed. And another he keeps saying, women's eggs are dead. Men carry the life. Let's look like what the fuck. Oh my god, I'm not talking about over ovulation. Yeah, they're living beings that fucking die. Just like sperm dies. Thank you. The eggs are living in ovum cells are living. All cells are living. They're organism. Ovum cells are organism. The egg is living until it gets released into the uterus to be conceived. If nothing happens, then it dies after 24 hours. Just like sperm is living until you ejaculate and shoot the shit out, then it dies because it is not common contact. Let's see. Yes, sperm can die depending on its environment. And sperm can survive for different lengths of time outside for a few seconds to a few days depending on the environment. So sperm can die. Okay, so they just last a little bit longer because they have mitochondria back in its movement. So sperm die when it's outside of its host, just like ovum cell dies when it's released after every period, and she's ready to. And her ovulation occurs after every time a woman ovulates. An egg cell, you know what I'm saying, is ready to be conceived, and then it dies. If it's not so, when he says there's no life in the egg, that is like retarded to me. An egg is living. There's life in it. The sperm is living. There's life in it. When they come together and the spark happens, that's the conjoining of two entities merging into one. It's called nuclear fusion. It just fused. So you see the reaction of the fusion. And when the fusion occurred, it left space for a soul to enter and for conception to occur. So I'm not understanding. Once and a so That right there. Once conception has happened, that egg then gets implanted in the uterine wall, be developed into an embryo, into a child. Now, people don't understand that's gardening. What happens while you? What happens when you're gardening? Gardening, okay? But you get the soil ready, okay, by activating it with fertilizer. And when you have fertile soil, you then plant the seeds in the soil to what? Grow. That is exactly what happens when men and women come together. He fertilizes her womb and gets the soil ready for conception. And then she then implants her seed into her soil for life to grow. Woman's the gardener. Man, you are just a fertilizer. You don't hold no seed. You don't hold the seed. You hold fertilizer. And this is what I don't understand. A fertilized egg. Once something is fertilized, that means it had. What is fertilizer? What is fertilizer used for? Fertilizers are used to improve plant growth and yield by providing plants with the nutrients. But you provide the plant with the nutrients. We apply fertilizers to promote healthy plant growth, including flowers, fruit production, and in some cases, seed or nut production. Plants use a tremendous amount of energy to flower and produce fruit, seeds, and nuts, while continuing to develop a healthy root system and grow leaves for photosynthesis. So, fertilizers also contain micronutrients like zinc and other metals that are necessary for plant growth. Okay? So, what you need to understand is that the man provides fertilizer nutrients. Did you ever wonder why? Come on. Sperm contains small amounts of nutrients, including what? Zinc, magnesium, fructose. Like, come the fuck on. The sperm is fertilizer. Men are natural fertilizer. And they fertilize the womb of women to get the womb ready for conception. That's it. Just like fertilizer gives the soil the necessary amount of energy and nutrients needed for proper uh 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 plant growth and seed growth, right? That is what's going on here. I don't understand. And they would know this if they just looked it up. What's another thing? Look. So just like they said, fertilizer improves plant growth and yields by providing plants with nutrients. I want you to ask yourself, why does sperm contain nutrients if sperm is meant? Ask yourself this question. If sperm, what is sperm? Definition. Sperm Sperm cells are male reproductive cells that originate in the testicles. Sperm cells swim to and fertilize a female. Fertilize a female reproductive cell called an oocyte or egg. So it fertilizes the seed. Two key factors that can affect male fertility are sperm count and sperm motility. You gotta go through this too, right? Fertilize. What does that mean? What does that mean? Cause an egg a female animal or plant. You see that? Cause an egg, female animal or plant to develop a new individual by introducing male reproductive material, right? Make soil or land more fertile or productive by adding suitable substance to it. More fertile of a land so producing or capable of producing abundant vegetation. Capable of, okay, so they make the woman more fertile or productive by giving her the materials she needs, which is fertilizer acts as what? Fertilizer acts as what? A nutrients. And sperm contains what? Nutrients. And they're meant to fertilize the female reproductive. Okay, like, come on. What's another one we could look up? Pollen pollen, as you can see, pollen is plant sperm. So pollen is plant sperm, and I want you to understand it. Definition of pollen: a fine powder produced by certain plants when they reproduce. Pollen is the tiny egg-shaped male cells of flowering plants, including trees, grasses, and weeds. Pollen is microscopic in size. It has, pollen is plant sperm. How much pollen does a flower produce? So about 70,000, right? God damn. Woo! So as you can see, Men have up to about 80 to 300 million sperm cells. Okay? So men have a lot of sperm cells, and women have up to 300 to 500,000. 300,000 to 500,000 eggs, and it just gets less throughout time. But she started off about 6 to 7 million. Now, what the hell just happened? Now, just like what? How many seeds do apples have? 5 to 10 seeds. How much pollen do male flowers produce? A tree is about 100 to 70,000 eggs, whatever you want to call it. So I want people to see that. You see the ratio between seeds and pollen, how there's a large amount of pollen and a small amount of seeds, and just like the ratio between women's eggs and males' sperm, how there's a large amount of sperm versus a small amount of eggs, because eggs are seeds and pollen is sperm. And I just looked it up for y'all. And slow my computer with all these tabs. My shit is overheated. Alright. But that's just crazy to know that women in her 20s, she get up to 300,000 babies. That's a whole army. One woman can have that. Jesus. This live, y'all. Peace. Peace.